I am so happy to finally meet you in this side of the
I'm
world.
so happy you're here.
My Miami girl is shining and glowing in Dubai. You are thriving in the Middle East, and I cannot wait to hear your story. This is Janira, and tell us a little bit more about yourself and this spectacular adventure that I've been watching very closely.
On Instagram.
And yeah, and I cannot wait to hear from you, because I know little clips here and there, and I know you from a completely different life in Miami.
Yeah, from way back actually.
Way back, like almost 10 years ago, right? Wow.
Yeah, like 5-6 years ago, no?
No, it's 2019 now. I met you what, 2009?
2009, my first apartment,
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
god,
been a
that
while.
was amazing.
Well, what can I say? So about 3 years ago, I decided to get out of Miami, and I just wanted a new experience, a new adventure. So I decided Dubai, because I had visited Dubai a few times, and I thought it's very similar to Miami, the nightlife, the people. So I went for it, and I said I'll give it 1 year. If I don't like it, I can always move back. My family's there. So it's been 3 years now. I moved here through work. I met my fiance here, and it's been an adventure. It's been a roller coaster. It's been quite a few experiences. I've met different people from different parts of the world. I still miss Miami, but what can I say? This is my life for now.
So this is not a full breakup with Miami.
We broke up 3 years ago, but I can't officially break up. My family is there.
And your roots, you're Cuban, right?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Miami. My parents are Cuban. All of my family is in Miami. So eventually, at some point, I'll go back.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple of years.
Even back then, you vibe so much with the Middle Eastern culture. Living in Miami, you were exposed to, the Middle East.
Yes.
From the people that went to study there. So tell us a little bit how this whole love affair with the Middle East started.
Well, the love affair with the Middle East has been going on for some time now. My great-great-grandfather is actually Lebanese. I never met him. Nobody in my family speaks Arabic, but I was always intrigued with the whole Middle Eastern culture. So I took Arabic course in FIU when I was in university. It was an epic fail. I mean, I got a good grade, but it was such a difficult language. But I fell in love with the culture and the people. And in Miami, there's a lot of people that come from Saudi and different parts of the world to study there. And
we know.
Yeah. I made so many friends there, and I really liked the people from there, and I just had a connection with the Middle Eastern culture. So it really helped in the transition moving to Dubai. Yeah, and I mean, I think that there's so many expats here as well. It's not just Arabic background. There's people from the US, there's people from Britain, there's people from so many places. So it's interesting. It's a melting pot.
Yeah, it's very international, the same as Miami. But
yes.
For you, I want to talk about what it took to actually break up with the city that so you grew up and then your family's there, and you were super, super close to them.
Yes.
So was it scary? I mean, when you did it, I was in shock. I remember when you told me about it, and I was like, "What, girl?"
It was honestly, it was a very difficult decision for me to make. I'm very close to my family, and it's not the norm, especially in Cuban traditions. You don't leave the house until you're married.
Right.
You're married often.
And that's similar to here, no?
Exactly. It's similar to here. But I think I just reached a point in my life. I was 27 when I left. I reached a point in my life, in my career, where I was kind of tired of Miami and the same people and the same scenes and the same outing. And I just wanted something new and refreshing, and I wanted to open up my mind to a diverse world. And I don't know, I think it was just the right time at the right moment, and I made the right contacts through work that allowed me to make the transition over, because otherwise, if it wasn't for my current company, I don't think it would have been possible. It's very difficult to transition to another country and have expat benefits and such.
Right.
So that was I think a stroke of luck for me, and it really helped with my decision. Telling my family was a whole other story.
How was that? I mean, the little girl, from Miami.
Exactly.
How do you break the news?
I have one older sister, so I'm the baby of the family. So that to them, it was such a shock. I think they've always known I've been very independent and I'm interested in different cultures. So they knew that, okay, this is her personality. She'll come back eventually. We have to let her just spread her wings and do her own thing. But it was tough, you know. It's not easy when you're so close to your family and you tell them you're moving to the other side of the world on a completely different time zone.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's worked itself out. We chat every day, we video chat, we WhatsApp every day.
So when you broke up in Miami, you came to Dubai and you found a better career, love, you're glowing.
Yes.
You are looking hot.
Thank you, babe.
So it was your birthday, right?
Yes,
Happy
yesterday.
birthday.
Thank you.
It's Taurus season, it's in the air.
Taurus season. Yesterday.
What would you tell to the old you know, before this huge change in transition, what would you tell to the old you about this whole adventure, and where do you think you're going to be in the next couple of years as far as
Okay.
the breakup of Miami goes?
What I would tell the old me and anybody really in who was in my old shoes is to just be bold and be confident. And if you want to do it, go for it.
Oh my God.
Don't
that's
hold
beautiful,
back.
That's beautiful. Say it again.
Don't hold back. I think a lot of us, I mean, I have still a lot of friends back in Miami, and they all reach out to me and they tell me, I can't believe you did this. How did you get the courage to do this? And I can tell that there's so many people who want to do things in their life,
Agree.
and they're afraid to take that step because society tells us, like, no, this is what you have to do, this is what your family did, your brother, your sister, this is the path that you have to take. And so we kind of just like, we're blindsided and we go down that path. And I would just tell my old self and anybody in my shoes is, don't be afraid to go after what you want. If that's what you want, do it. Try it. It might fail, it might succeed, but you will
But at
never
least
know.
try it.
Exactly. You will never know until you try it. You know, you have that experience.
It's incredible because I interview so many people, and this is like the one thing that really makes a difference. When
Yes.
You're not afraid of being bold and just go for
It's
it. You
amazing.
know what I mean?
I mean, even the story of how I came here. Okay, yes, I transitioned through my company, but it wasn't that easy.
I know the original story.
Yeah, it wasn't that easy. I mean, I tell people this story and they're usually motivated by it. I wanted to move to Dubai. It was either Dubai or London. I had been to Dubai, I had not been to London. I had friends in Dubai, so it was an easier transition. But also, I found the contact that I needed to find of the office of my current company in Dubai. I didn't know anybody. I didn't, nobody kind of handed it to me. I had to go through people until I finally found the right HR person. I sent the man my CV and I said, this is my experience. This is what I do. These are the accounts that I work on. I'm interested in expanding my career abroad. Do you have anything available right now? Naturally, he said, no, you know, like it's not every day we get somebody that reaches out. He said, I don't have anything, you know, I'll let you know if something comes out. But I did not take no for an answer. So I told him, I will be in Dubai next week from this date to this date. I would love to meet in person. The guy had no job for me. I showed up to Dubai, I met him, I went super professional, I gave him my CV, I presented myself, I made the contact, and he was so impressed with that gesture that he kept my CV and he told me, well, I want you to meet a couple of directors and such in the company. And so we moved forward with the process, and because I made that initiative to come to Dubai to meet him, a month later I had a job offer.
Wow.
And had I not done that, I honestly don't think I would be here. So it goes back to the theory, be bold and go after what you want. Even if it's just something that you're not sure, let's see how it goes, go after it.
It's so refreshing to hear from somebody that is young and, you know, beautiful and a beautiful soul, somebody like you, because sometimes it takes people, you know, like way into their 50s to like finally pursue something that they wanted to do.
And they live in regret.
They live in regret, or they, you know, they wasted a gift that they could have been given to the universe, you know, because they're afraid to try. And, you know, that's also like something that I can relate, because I broke up with the fear of failure and rejection.
But you're thriving and you're doing it. And looking fabulous.
Thank you. It's like that one step is really the difference that makes the amazing stories that I have heard in the past
100%.
few weeks. And like I said, you are very lucky because you did it so young, you know, and now you're really enjoying the fruits of your labor. Look at you, girl. Oh my God, it's so good.
It's been an adventure. I've met so many amazing people, and I just turned 30 yesterday. So I think in the next couple of years, I would like to expand my career and just move forward with my personal life, and let's see, who knows where I go from here. I don't think this is the end of my story.
I don't think so either, you know, like you have so much energy, you have like, if you have passion, purpose, you know, and good intentions, and that's all it takes, is you always been like,
Exactly.
that fire, you know, but like in a good way. Like you always have that inside of you. Exactly. So what would you tell like all the Miami girls that are like trying to maybe get out of there, you know, because I hear this recurring topic over and over of how, you know, they wanted to try different things and different options. And I always say like, if you're gonna say things about Miami and what you don't like and this and that, like make a change. Do something about it. Or, you know, enjoy it because it is a great city. I love it and adore living there, but there are people when they complain and they don't make a change, it's very you know,
it becomes very mundane. Yeah, I completely understand. I was in those shoes once, and I think honestly, you don't really get to appreciate Miami until you've moved away.
Yeah.
And I think now I have a deeper appreciation for the roots that Miami has.
What do you miss the most?
Even going back home, just like the Latin culture, something as simple as like the food, the croquetas, and just the cortaditos, and so many small things that you don't get here that really makes you feel close to home. It's you take it for granted when you move away, and it's a different culture, right? So now we're in Ramadan, which is it's the holy month here. So people are fasting for most of the day, and there's certain rules like, let's say you can't have food or drink during certain hours of the day, at least out in public. So you really take those things for granted. When you go back to Miami, you think, well, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I can go out on a boat, and I can do this, and it's such. You feel a little bit more liberating and free, and you don't appreciate that until you really move away.
Oh my God, it's so funny. We were talking about this in the car on the ride back from the desert, and the driver was talking about this point of how like when you are given everything, then you don't appreciate nothing.
You don't appreciate
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you will say that you appreciate more Miami because of the restrictions of the culture here?
I think not the restrictions of the culture here. I think it's just...
Or does it make you more in touch with yourself? Because
it makes you more in touch with yourself, also because being Latina, being Cuban in this part of the world is considered exotic.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not...
I'm sure.
It's not the norm. So I usually meet people and they immediately can tell I don't speak Arabic, so they ask me where I'm from. And when I say Cuban American, they're wowed. And so it makes me... It kind of reminds me, wait, like I have some pretty exotic roots. Like I come from a good background.
Of course.
We forget that because in Miami there's so many Latinas, there's so many Latinos.
Here you have the edge.
Yes. It's the norm in Miami, right? There's so many Cubans, Peruvians, Colombians, Venezuelans. It's the norm. Here, it's, you know, you say that you speak Spanish, you're exotic.
Yeah, of course.
So you forget that and then you realize your roots and it's just refreshing, honestly. It makes you miss your customs back home.
Yeah. Have you learned with the restrictions here in the Middle East, delayed gratification maybe?
The what?
Delayed gratification. Of how, you know, the whole fasting thing is amazing to me. And the whole prayer system here, how you have to stop, drop, like five times a day, right?
5 times a day.
And then you come to your senses and, you know, you pray for the things that, you know, bring you back to center and the things that you want and, you know.
Yeah.
It is amazing that maybe in other places we pay for that yoga class or meditation class for an hour, and here you just do it as part of your daily routine, as eating, as taking showers, and brushing your teeth. That to me is fascinating, right?
Yes. So this is a big part of the Muslim culture in general. It's the praying 5 times a day, even before Ramadan. It's a very strong point that they focus on. I think Ramadan is also a time where it's a very charitable month. You know, where usually, you know, people are very hospitable here, but during the month of Ramadan, people really extend an extra hand and they go out of their way and they'll maybe feed the less fortunate, or
it's incredible.
It is, and they do such amazing volunteer work. So it's very admirable.
Yeah. And I think it puts people in a very grateful state.
Absolutely.
You know? In a grateful state, because it amazes me the people that you think have so little, they are so grateful, so happy with so little. And they're the ones that tell you, hey, look at your neighbors, look at like what's missing in society and your community, how can you help and you can give back.
100%.
That to me is magical about Ramadan, right? And it's something that made me really think about it. Like I said, in the drive back, the guy who drove us, he's from here, he was explaining all these things about the culture and the religion and Ramadan and how he takes it in and how he applies the little things that really make a huge difference. And the little things that you do every day make a huge difference in the world, period, right? Because when you become that one magical person that like touches everything around you and like you just want to make it better, little by little, you never know like whose life you change, right?
Absolutely, yes. Even here, I mean, there's small things we do throughout the year. Even something as simple as going outside and giving the gardener a bottle of water because it's so hot outside.
Right.
Those small kindness acts really make a difference in these people's lives, because usually in the Middle East, I don't want to say that the perception is everybody's very spoiled here, right? So we have everything. Everybody is kind of on another level. So you take for granted these things. So it's not the norm when you step out of your comfort zone and you extend. Let's say you do a charitable act for somebody, something like giving somebody a bottle of water or something within the heat. It really makes an impact on their life, and you can see that they're so grateful for these gestures. You know, it's small things. There's also a lot of people a lot of companies, what they do now for Ramadan is they'll put out a refrigerator, and so people will donate food and they will put it within the fridge, and like less fortunate people, or let's say workers or laborers, will come to these refrigerators, and so they'll take food for iftar, for their dinner, which is a very nice thing.
That is spectacular.
Yeah,
wow.
It's very kind. Yeah.
What immediate change do you think were necessary for you in order to be this improved, like, power woman that I see in front of me?
What needed to change?
Have you become more disciplined, perhaps? More grateful, more giving? More in tune with yourself?
Again, I bring it back to being more bold. I think when I first moved here, yes, I was my confident self, but it's a different culture, and you have to learn how to approach things in a different way, especially in the workplace. And so over the last 3 years that I've been here, I've kind of just learned how to maneuver my way around certain people, certain situations. And again, it comes back to being bold and being confident, especially in this part of the world. I think being a woman and being empowered is very important. And if you don't speak up and stand your ground from the beginning, it will set the tone for the rest of your relationship with anybody. So I think that's something that's really changed me. My personality in general has changed. My relationships and my interactions with people. I'm a lot more poised. Yeah, and honest, and straight to the point. Yes. You know, and I think meeting people from different parts of the world really brings that out.
Yeah, I mean, when you're exposed to a different country, a different culture, inevitably you have to, like, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, you have to adapt to whatever is in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. The change, whatever you're doing is working.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, there's been ups, there's been downs, but mostly ups. And it's
What do you think is your gift right now that you want to give to the world?
My gift that I want to give to the world? Wow, I think just honesty. If there's something that you want, go get it.
Yeah.
Go get it. Do not hold yourself back. You don't want to wake up when you're 40, 50 years old and have those regrets that you never did it, or the what ifs. You don't want to go through that. So if there's something, go for it. Just be honest with yourself. Try it out, even if it doesn't work out.
Yeah. What's the worst thing that can happen? You know.
What's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah.
You fail, and then if you fail, it's a learned experience. Something that you can take with you, that you can grow from.
Yeah. That is very beautifully said. And I was just talking about this quote from Churchill that says, success is going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm, right?
Absolutely. And
you cannot be defeated. You cannot go down.
100%.
And you just have to keep on trying, because that's part of life and that's the beauty of life.
And you won't know what success is until you've gone through all of those failures.
Exactly.
That's when you can appreciate it.
Exactly. That is just one of the steps to move forward. So, wow, to wrap it, I don't even know what else to say. This was just so
much
enlightening.
Well, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy we're doing this.
I know.
It's been so long.
Me too. Wow, the catch-up is going to be recorded for the record.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure doing this. I really hope
Hopefully
that this
I will not take another 3 years to see you.
No, I think I'll be back before then.
Yeah, call me when you come to Miami.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
As they say here, God willing.
Inshallah. Are you going to become Muslim? What are you doing with that?
No. So I'm going to remain with my religion, and my fiance will remain with his, which is Muslim. And we're just going to both appreciate our respective religions, and in the future when we have children, we've discussed teaching our kids both religions, and then having them choose once they're old enough.
How about no religion? A lot of people that I interview here, they don't want to have a religion.
It's not that I don't want to have. I respect my religion and I respect his religion, and I think both religions have very beautiful aspects and respectable aspects. So I would really like to show our kids both. You know, like, this is what mom practices, this is what dad practices, and then you will celebrate both. And when they're old enough, they can decide which one they are more in tune with, or it's really up to them. It's their freedom. You know, even if they choose not to have any religion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The funny thing about religion is that it's very important to teach it, because it gives you so much, like, culture, background,
Yes.
and history.
Absolutely.
I think from that, if you teach your kids that religion is important in that sense, for
Yeah.
you to know like where certain things come from, you know,
Absolutely.
like in the background of how generations
Of course.
translated into this where we are today. I think it's a beautiful thing, you know, like if it comes like again with purpose and good intentions.
Yeah.
And as far as the not religion part, I think, you know, like more and more I see people moving towards that or towards, you know, like a very happy middle ground.
Exactly. At the end of the day, as long as you are a good person and you're
Mhm.
doing good deeds and you're teaching your children to be good people, that's
Uh-huh.
all that matters,
Mhm.
really. I mean, you can teach religion, it can go either way, but as long as you're good, honest people,
Mhm.
that's all that matters.
Yeah. And your relationship should really be like love, you know? Because
Absolutely, yes.
you learn so much from all kinds of religions, like from
Absolutely.
all over the place, and they each have that common denominator, you know, which is like spread love and,
Exactly.
you know, like
And respect
do
one
good,
another,
respect,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Where are we now? She looks like a cartoon. You know Camp for Dinner with Us?
What are you guys talking?